Hi, it's Edie here, coming to you from the home office in San Antonio, Texas. I get to help people own their lives, stressed out people own their lives through helping them develop powerful self-care strategies, also known as habits. My company name is Shape Good Habits. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about anchors. Now, an anchor is a powerful thing. It holds a ship right where it's supposed to be for as long as we need it, and then we pull up the anchor and the ship can sail away. Except sometimes the anchor gets hooked on something and we can't pull it up. And the anchor holds us where we are, and we can't sail away and do what it is that we need to do. What is your anchor right now? Is your anchor keeping you steady, or is it keeping you stuck? Because stuck is not a fun place to be. Have you been stuck in your life? I certainly have. I've been stuck in powerlessness and in a lack of vision and a lack of self-efficacy, a belief that I could do something different. And there's a lot of reasons that happens to us, but that kind of attitude, that kind of feeling about our lives is an anchor. And sometimes it's circumstantial, right? You have someone in your life who's sick that you need to take care of, and you have no power in the situation. But that doesn't mean you're powerless. Anchors can get unstuck, but sometimes we have to work really hard to do that. And one of the ways to do that is to anchor differently. So in the pathway to develop new habits, we're taught that there's 4 principles. First, we need to remind ourselves everywhere. We need to make it pleasurable, and then we need to make it small and doable, and we need to celebrate and track what's going on. And so the anchor that I'm talking about is this one. It is the reminding yourself everywhere. So when you have an anchor that's holding you down, that feels like it's keeping you stuck, you've got to dive deep to get to that anchor, to find out what's holding it. And you've got to be intentional about loosening that anchor. Now, I don't know about really deep diving in the ocean. I've never done that. But I've deep dived into my own life to decide what it was that I needed to shift. And one of the ways I was able to do that was with this 5-minute of intentional silence habit, to give me the margin in my life to be able to think about things, to be able to get myself centered enough to have perspective. So 5 minutes of silence, I had to anchor to something else to be able to do it. And the trick with that is to anchor to another habit that is already well established. And at that time in my life, my habit was I got up and I made coffee first thing in the morning. And so I connected my 5 minutes of silence to my morning coffee. And I eventually got to where I would sit with my mug and inhale the coffee, the smell of the coffee, and just appreciate that wonderful aroma, and appreciate the gift of life, and appreciate that there were things I could do differently. There were things I didn't have to stay stuck. We don't have to stay stuck. Our anchors can either keep us stuck or they can keep us stable. And so I was choosing a different anchor. I was choosing to love myself enough to give myself the margin to think about what it needed to happen next. And I was able to do that. I was able to accomplish things because I had that margin in my life. You don't have to choose the same thing that I chose. You don't have to choose the 5 minutes of silence a day for your first new anchor. But the reminding yourself everywhere is a really, really important tool to being able to choose a different anchor, to be able to choose to moor your ship differently, to moor your ship in hopefulness, and in self-efficacy and in joyful living. It can be really, really hard when there are 50 things coming at us. And sometimes I listen to people and I hear their struggles and I hear what's going on in their lives and I think, oh, what a huge burden you have. And yet, I always believe that there is hope, that there is brightness in their future, and that there is joy for today. Choose your anchor well, and if your anchor's keeping you stuck, figure out how to get it loose. Give yourself the margin to be able to do so. That's what I have for you today. It is my delight and my pleasure to be able to speak into your life. If I can do anything for you, if you have a desire to choose differently for yourself and you would like a champion to walk with you, to talk with you, to be with you, just let me know. Go to talktoedie.com and set up an appointment, a time to talk. Thank you. Have an amazing day.